Good day, Solana. First, two devotions this week, as I forgot last week, so I wanted to make it up to you. Today is very simple, but I'm thinking a lot about managing money because we are in First Timothy right now in our Wednesday night Bible study, and that's where Paul says, "For love of money is the root of all kinds of evil." And so I'm thinking about money, and later in chapter 6, he says, "Command those who are rich in this present world to not be arrogant, nor put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but put their hope in God." And then he commands them to be good and rich deeds and to be generous, willing to share. So as I'm preparing for that Bible study, I'm thinking a lot about wealth, and specifically a weird kind of season that hasn't happened, at least in my lifetime, where what we're seeing right now is a massive stimulus that was just passed that's going to send about 85% of the country somewhere in the tune of $1,400 upward. If you're married, $2,800. If you got kids, add $1,400 per kid on up. And so a lot of people are going to be receiving a little bit of a windfall from the stimulus money. In addition, many people receive a tax refund check. You overpaid your taxes throughout the year, and the government is now sending you a refund check. And those are kind of aligning. So for many families, this means it's going to be a pretty big windfall. For some, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. And now there's going to be two routes you can take. For many, it's been a tough financial year. You faced layoffs, all this stuff, and you need to just play catch up. You need to make sure you get your rent out of forbearance. You need to make sure that the utility bills get off of collections. You need to make sure the cell phone bill gets paid. And so that money is kind of already earmarked. And I want to encourage you, take that money, especially the stimulus and the refund. Make sure that your bills are paid, because there's another temptation that comes in. We're heading into summer. It's a beautiful day here in Salina, and we're heading into summer, and there's going to be another temptation for you, and to take that money and kind of spend it recklessly because it's what feels good coming off of a year of just blah. A year where we haven't seen families, a year where the world has just been upside down. There will be the temptation to take that money and buy the new car, or buy the boat, or go get the biggest TV you can find, or start the project in the renovation, and essentially blow the money in some way. I just want to caution you. What feels good in March and April might be buying the pontoon boat for Grand Lake. It might be that new car. It might be going on that elaborate vacation, far more than you normally would spend. What will feel good in September is having your bills paid and no shut-off notices sitting on the table. I've talked before about tax time ballers, that people that live paycheck to paycheck throughout the year and then get a tremendous windfall, several $1,000s in refund, but then blow right through it, and they struggle again by June or July living paycheck to paycheck. And I just want to encourage you, as I'm thinking about Paul's words, and I'm thinking about some friends that I've helped with financial counsel, and then people that we help in the church through benevolence cases. If you're receiving some of this money, be very cautious and be very prudent and wise in how you steward it. What feels good now is not probably the best financial decision for you and yours. What gives you fun now and excitement now might actually produce anxiety later. You know, the big purchase now that feels great might be the millstone that's financially dragging your family down come October. The camper that produces a summer of fun now, because you had the money for a down payment, well, the payments start in this fall. You can't afford them and rent, but you can't sell the camper because it's off season. Just be very careful. And again, this is a very practical, some people will be like, that's not really even a devotion. No, this is a whole life devotion, to just be very careful and practical and smart and wise with what you do with this. And remember that what feels good is probably not what is the most wise and best decision. And ultimately, what will feel best might not be the most exciting, but will feel best is paid up bills, a secured home for the winter, a roof over your head, food in the pantry, gas in the car, a little bit of money in the savings account so when that car gets a flat tire or, the transmission goes out, or the brakes need replaced, you have some funds to help pay for that. Think through the way those bills stress you out throughout the year, and consider this opportunity of what the stimulus and refund could mean if you steward that money well. If anyone wants to talk more about this, I'd be happy to talk to you. I'm not some financial guru, but I really do take this stuff seriously, and this is something I've tried to help the church on, some money coaching for budgeting, general basic budgeting, and we have some other folks in the church who are really gifted in this area by God's grace. So just something for you to consider. What feels good today is probably not what is best for you and yours down the road, and that's really important right now with those refunds and the stimulus coming. So hope it stirs your mind to think about what you're going to do with that money and to choose wise decisions that honor the Lord. Hope you have a wonderful day.